Media Group. Sherry, how are you? And we have a really interesting topic today. We're going to talk about from manuscript to masterpiece, the secrets to publishing success. I think this is so why you started Storehouse Media Group is you're able to take someone's manuscript to a masterpiece as a bestseller and really become a masterpiece in so many ways, right, Sherry?
That's right. That's right. I mean, it's important, your content. A lot of times your bestseller can be based on marketing, but still readers want to get what they're paying for. So it's really about content, and it's about good writing, and it's about getting an editor in there to turn that book and to craft it into a page turner. And
100%.
that's it's something that resonates with the readers.
100%. So let's talk about challenges. There are common challenges that authors face in the publishing journey. You address each one of them because they come to you on a regular basis, don't they? Where they've tried to publish a book or they've hired another company. It's just not been good.
I think a lot of times, one of the biggest complaints is customer service. People take your money and then they leave. And they're like, I can't get a hold of them. Or they'll return the work and it'll be very poor work done. And the people get really frustrated, like, well, who in this industry can help me? And so, they come to me sometimes with a bit of skepticism and lack of trust because they've already been through it. So it's doing your due diligence and making sure that the company, the editor that you hire has a good reputation. Go through, look at reviews, look at what people are saying about them, look at their website if they have one. Do they look like quality books? I mean, people can pretty much tell just by looking at a cover, the covers of the book, if they're quality. And usually what you see on the outside will tell a lot about what's on the inside.
Definitely. Uh, can you talk about how many people have you taken to uh, bestseller, and how important is it to have a good? You're not going to take to bestseller unless you have a well-written book.
Well, the people who come to us to go to bestseller, we've never failed. We've always taken them to that bestseller. So when they come to us for that specific service, we have 100% success rate on that. So again, it's a marketing strategy a lot of times, but you've got to have the you know the content to back it up. So when we have a bestseller, people come to say, oh, I want to take this to a bestseller. And my team, we've worked together for years, and we are like a well-oiled machine. And I'll say, okay guys, we got a bestseller coming, and everybody knows their place. And it's a formula that I have put together, and we get it there. And then the day that the book is launched, we all go crazy. My whole team, we're watching the rankings. And we get so excited to tell the author, like, hey, guess what? Your book's number one, or your book's number five, or something.
But if it's poorly written, then it's not going to become a bestseller, is it?
If it's poorly written, people will catch on. You may get a lot of people to buy your book because they're friends and family, but you want to get beyond that. And people do want what they pay for. So it may go up a little bit, but once people start reading, it's going to go down with some bad reviews. And you really don't want bad reviews. Nobody wants bad reviews.
Another great point is we talked about so many times in this show, and so many times in this podcast, Storehouse Media Group podcast, is the importance of editing and professional coaching to create a book. I mean, it's so important, right? That's something that only the big players, the big publishing companies do, and you do at Storehouse Media Group.
Yes, yes. The editing, I cannot stress enough. I've got a book right now. It is well written, but you get to know your content. And I tell people, as authors and writers, we start seeing things that aren't there and don't see things that are, and we get too familiar with the content. So you do need that objective eyes to come on there and look at it. And also people who know how to make sure that the sentence is structured in the right way, that's clear, that paragraphs and sentences transition correctly to the next one, that the pacing, the character arcs, the storyline, all that is is top notch, and it's something that's just going to keep the reader engaged in that book.
Absolutely. And your team at Storehouse Media Group definitely delivers on that with all, if you go back to all the podcast episodes that we've created at Storehouse Media Group, you're going to find out everyone is just so satisfied with your work. I think that's the big call to action right now for people is you hire a publisher where you have a lot of relationships. A lot of people are very happy with their work. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, it's really good to hear that they're so happy. I mean, it's my passion. Everybody on my team, it's our passion, and we do really enjoy what we do, and we are super customer focused, super. And I think that's one thing that does set us apart too.
Okay. So if people have a manuscript right now or are thinking of writing a manuscript, what do you recommend them they should do?
Well, right. I mean, you need to do an outline. I always suggest, especially for a first time writer, create an outline. Just don't start, throwing arrows in the dark or darts in the dark. Have something, a target, but get some advice, get at least a consult or some coaching to get it written. I mean, people do write their own book and then they come to me and they're like, okay, I've written it and I need help. So it's always good to have a professional's input on it because you've got to think that when you do publish that book, all these eyes are going to see it, including other professionals. So at least, make sure you're on the same playing field.
All right. Best place to go, storehousemediagroup.com. Appreciate it, Sherry, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Neil.
All right. That's special.